let's agree a couple of things.
Okay.
One is abuse is abuse is abuse.
Yeah, never acceptable.
Yeah,
In
there
any
is
way, shape,
never
or
an excuse for abuse. And also, asking for help and support in those situations, A, can be extremely difficult,
Yes.
and B, can come in a lot of forms.
True.
True.
Welcome to the Polygon Forest podcast. I am Chris Jarvis, otherwise known as Acrylic Pixel. I'm an indie game dev, and I am not joined, as ever, by Vin Hill, the concept artist. I am joined here by Sam Webster, comic person, YouTuber, indie game dev. Anything else to add to that list?
General idiot, yeah.
General idiot.
I was going to sit here originally and just try and pass myself off as Vin.
Just be like, hey, I'm Vin.
Alright.
What's the best? Let's do the best impression of Vin.
Oh, Christ.
No, I'm not good at that. Yeah.
I gotta try this now.
Okay, try.
If you didn't kneel down, I'm having it. And if you disagree with my opinion, you are objectively wrong. I don't know, that's all I got.
Okay.
That's all I got.
So if you're joining us for the first time, you won't know what's going on. Hopefully you're all returners. No. And Finn is away. He's working very hard, and his poor wife Rachel is sick, so get well soon, Rachel. And in his stead, Sam has helped to fill in the gaps of the regular podcast. But of course, you should all recognise Sam from the Indie Dev Roundtable that we do roughly once a month, where we chart our indie games. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about Batman. Well, it's not Batman, is it? It's Arkham Knights running at 30 FPS and not 60 FPS.
Gotham Knights before the comment section gets you.
Sorry, I said that again, didn't I? Gotham Knights. Yeah, Arkham Knight was the good Batman game. The TwitchCon injuries and fiasco and scandal, and Overwatch scandal, selling physical copy. You can still buy physical copies of Overwatch. But first, Sam, how have you been? What have you been up to? How you been getting on?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a weird one. Some changes at work, but yeah, happens. And I'm just trying to stay sane in this absolute monsoon weather we seem to be having. Apparently, we think we're Japan.
It's a storm physically in the UK and also politically in the UK. We're in the middle of a storm. So yes, it's a strange time over here. I'm sure if all international viewers, most of you are international, will be at least seeing a bit of international news, saying how much of a fiasco is happening. Have you been doing any more of your indie game dev stuff? Have you been focusing on job stuff?
Yeah, so I did two things for the indie game. One is actually register a limited company ahead of, when I need to start setting up Steam pages and things.
Yep. Just
figure get that out of the way now. And then it's done. Of course, that now means I have to start, having accounts and stuff, which is, yeah. Outside of that, a lot of pixel art for, because there are now two projects, because I'm an idiot. And yeah, just getting things generally set up for that other project.
Okay, nice. Well, yeah, that actually reminds me. I've also set up my company. So Acrylic Pixel Limited is a company. So we're both directors and owners of companies. Congratulations, fellow business owner.
Thank you. It's at the moment solely on paper. I was just happy when they were like, "Oh, if you have a say a 3-bedroom house, and you're using one room for business purposes, you can claim up to 20% of your household bills on your corporate accounts." And I was like, that's interesting, but it can have issues if you own the house, and apparently if you use the room for leisure and business, then you have to take that into account too. So I think I can probably get away with like 10% of my utility bills as business expenses.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Mine's in my front. This office space is in my front room, so I don't know how that would work. But yeah, I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, I've been doing some more work on the indie game dev side of things, but I've also been working sort of as a bit of a director, sort of a producer, project manager for for an indie game, for a video game company. So I've been sort of getting that set up and started to actually get some money coming in. Well,
nice.
It's going to be happening. So that's kind of cool. So I guess I guess I'm in the industry again. I'm back in the video game industry in a professional capacity, other than like a hobbyist. So that's kind of cool that it's kind of got stuff starting to work out.
First step. That's very nicely done.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So what did you want to talk about first, Sam? Did you want to talk about Batman, TwitchCon, or Overwatch? What floats your boat?
Let's go Batman.
Batman.
Just like, yeah, you listed an order. My mind's already like, there's an order.
So yeah, Gotham Knights will only run at 30 FPS and will offer no performance mode on consoles. So that's been a bit of a headline because it's one of the biggest AAA game releases recently. I've heard mixed reviews so far, and the biggest news story coming out of this Gotham Knights game, where of course Batman is dead. Spoiler alert, where have you been for the last decade? And so it's Barbara Gordon, it's Dick and Robin and Red Skull.
I'm just saying, like, I'm
Red
gonna let
Hood.
him suffer now.
Yeah, sorry to all you Batman fans, I've completely butchered that.
It's Dick Grayson Nightwing, Barbara Gordon's Batgirl, Jason Todd Red Hood, and the Robin in this, I don't think it's Tim Drake. I think it's Damian Wayne.
Okay.
I could be mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is, is this who cares story? Can you tell about between 30 frames and 60 frames? Can you actually tell the difference?
No. What's weird is, so we had, for example, the PlayStation 3 version of the Kingdom Hearts HD remix, right? And that was at 30. And some people actually prefer that release because the original games were at 30, and apparently there are certain speed running timings and stuff which is tied to that frame rate. And then they released the PS4 version, and they're like, we've bumped it up to a higher resolution, and it's now 60 FPS. So it was cheap enough that I upgraded. This is going back a couple of years. But at first, I thought the claims were bollocks, because I couldn't tell a difference. I literally have to play those two releases of Kingdom Hearts back to back to feel the doubled frame rate.
Right. Interesting. Yeah, and I guess most people won't actually know the difference. But I guess what the gamers and the people that are buying, the Gotham Knights, is that they're feeling shortchanged because they're buying like a premium game and it's not optimized for next gen consoles. I guess is what their problem is. The thing is, the people that made the game have come out and said, look, it's a third party game. We've got to make it for all the consoles. And so by doing that, optimizing for both PlayStation and Xbox is really, really hard. So getting it to run 60 FPS just is a big cost involved. And it just didn't seem that important to them to do that, considering they've got lots of cool co-op, multiplayer stuff. Meeting will end in 10 minutes. Great. Oh, okay. Apologies, everyone. So whenever we're just going to have to stitch together these meetings.
Yeah, that's fine.
Finn's away, and he's got the good Zoom, and I've got the bad Zoom. So apologies. And if you can hear the thunder in the background, it's all coming together.
I'm not sure that I buy that necessarily. You were saying that they can't. So this game was initially announced as a cross-gen title. It was going to be PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, yeah?
Yeah.
Right. Then at the last minute, they cancelled the PS4 and Xbox One versions and said it's going to be, next-gen, current-gen, whatever you want to call it, only.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exclusive to those platforms. Now, cross-gen games have been performing at 60 fairly consistently, but when using what's essentially PS4 code on a PS5, you expect that. We've had very few true exclusives, right?
Yeah.
But I'm looking at all of the footage and such of Gotham Knights, and not only aesthetically, but technically, it looks worse to me than Arkham Knight, which came out 7 years ago on the previous generation. I don't think it's to do with the co-op. I think this is just a really poorly optimized game.
Right. It's just had run into some problems, and that's one thing where they could lean on to get it across the line in a relatively good time frame, I guess.
Yeah, it feels like a guy in a suit came in and said, look, we don't care, this is a release date, we've already pushed it back. What's it been, a year?
I guess so, yeah, something like that. That sounds about right.
It's already a year overdue. If shipping it means you cut the last gen versions and 30 FPS is the best you can do, then ship it.
Yeah. I think that it was a leak. It was a leak that originally set off this whole thing, that it was going to be a 30 FPS game. But I've heard other bits and pieces as well. Like some of the journalists that have been playing it have said that the combat feels a bit clunky. Have said that the game doesn't really know what it's going to be. But then other people have said they really like walking around, being one person, and then walking around with someone else, and then the interaction's different. So I don't know. It's a difficult one. I think I'm going to wait until we get some proper reviews I say proper reviews. I mean, like once it's had the day one patch and it's working as intended, and then there's a bit more of a consensus about what the game's like.
Certainly Digital Foundry's video, if you haven't seen that already, is a very intriguing watch. There's some direct comparisons between Gotham Knights and the previous game, Arkham Knight. Even though this is set in a different universe, which is... spoiler alert, the true ending of Batman Arkham Knight, Batman dies when Wayne Manor blows up. The setup for Gotham Knights is... Bruce Wayne died when Wayne Manor blew up. But apparently they're different universes. And right? So it should have just been a direct continuation.
Yeah.
That aside.
But that's because there was no Red Hood, and there was no Batgirl, and there was no Robin. So in those other games, right?
No, Tim Drake is Robin in Arkham Knight. And there's a whole thing with Batman, locks him in so he can't come and help because Batman thinks he's going to be in danger.
Oh, yes.
And they have this whole you don't trust me thing.
Oh, yeah.
And there are 2 DLCs where you play as Nightwing and Batgirl, respectively.
Oh, okay, cool.
And it is Barbara's Batgirl that you play as in that DLC, too. So.
Oh, okay. Interesting. But they've said that it's not a... I want to see a Red Hood game, like the whole story about how Red Hood becomes Red Hood. That's such a cool story.
Well, that's what they essentially did, because the Arkham Knight, spoilers for a 7-year-old game,
of course,
was Jason Todd, who is the Red Hood.
I'm just not remembering it right. It's been so long. I need to replay them.
And at the end of the game, Jason Hood abandons the Arkham Knight persona and takes on the Red Hood persona. So we even have that sorted.
Oh. Okay. I'm just really not remembering it. Thank you for correcting me on this. Wow, my Batman knowledge is not up to snuff. I preferred the series and the way the series dealt with it, I think, if my memory serves.
Yeah. Chris, Batman's been dead a few times in the comics.
That's true, yeah. And the Joker as well. So, yeah. So are you furious? Do you care? Is it a thing? Are you going to get the game? You looking forward to it? What's your views?
Start of this year, if you'd have asked me, then yes, I probably would have been picking up the game. Probably would have gone after work on Friday and got it. As things stand, I'm hearing, it's fine. I'm hearing, I wouldn't mind receiving it as a Christmas present, but I wouldn't go buy it for myself, which is a red flag. And my favourite one, it feels like I ordered a Batman Arkham game from Wish.com.
Yeah, that is really bad. That's a really bad critic. Wow. That is such a burn, actually. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so it's a different direction then, I'm guessing. For me, when a game doesn't know what it's supposed to be or what direction it's going in, and the fact that you've got several characters that can all do the same thing, I don't know. Those are some really big things where if you don't nail it and people aren't going, oh, they nailed it, the balance is immaculate, then I don't know if it's going to be for me. But again, I'll reserve judgment and see how I feel. see what happens. But yeah, not good news so far.
I'm not seeing anyone selling it for the full 70. Like everywhere around here, as there are Argos, you walk in, it's like 54 rather than the full 70, which even the retailers don't have confidence in it.
So they've priced it at what they think it is. So it's like a AA quality, maybe not AAA box office smash hit. For the Batman fans, the diehard Batman fans, they'll probably get the kick out of it, right?
I mean, if we get to January and it goes down to 25, I'll probably bite.
Yeah, I probably would. Yeah. And yeah, apologies for the Batman fans listening. My Batman knowledge is diabolical these days. So there's that. Did you hear about this TwitchCon, the injuries thing?
Oh, I saw the video.
You saw the video. I've seen the video as well. Yeah. I haven't seen the one where she's like recuperating, but there's videos of her like going to the doctor and stuff, and she's got to get metal bars in her back and stuff. So yeah, she totally broke her back in 2 places.
Yeah, she's had 2 surgeries for it so far, I believe.
Eesh. And did you see how it was put in the games media? It was like porn actress Adriana Chechik.
I'm not even going to try and pronounce it, so well
apologies,
done. Well done.
Chechik. Broke her back at TwitchCon. But the thing is, did you hear about the lady that dislocated her ankle moments prior to the girl jumping off and breaking her back?
No.
So
I heard there were multiple injuries, but I didn't realise they were that close proximity.
Yeah, that someone did the same thing, except she landed on her feet and she dislocated her ankle.
Oof.
In that pit, because they had a few pieces of foam chunks, and then it was just concrete floor, and they had a raised platform.
It wasn't even 2 feet deep, and the platforms were for gladiator battles.
Yeah.
I don't know what health and safety officer signed that off.
It was whoever the health and safety officer on that needs to resign, because that was diabolical.
Yeah. Someone's getting sued.
There's negligence there. Like at the end, they all had to sign NDAs before they went into TwitchCon to apparently, cover them legally. But that's for like everyday trips and falls and little things that someone could do, but having a concrete floor with a gladiator pit is, to me, that's like negligent. That's like really, really bad.
Oh, that is dumb.
And the fact they didn't shut it down when they had when one person got injured, they should have shut the whole thing down.
I don't know. I agree they should have shut it down. But what struck me, there's this... it's TwitchCon, so the kind of people who are in attendance. It's sort of a cult of personality thing.
Yeah.
And what really threw me is you watch the video, she comes down hard... And there's already another girl in the pit, a blonde woman.
Yeah.
And this Twitch streamer comes down, breaks her back in 2 places. She's clearly in pain, clearly saying, I can't move, I can't get up. And, security and other people are rushing over to help and saying, get her out of the pit. Yeah. This woman needs medical attention. And this other streamer, this blonde woman, I don't know who she is, but she's cracking jokes the entire time.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, I guess until you know what the extent is, you just are assuming they're playing up to the camera, right? Because their personalities, their whole thing is playing up to the camera. All of their thing is about getting views for crazy stunts, right? So it probably stands to reason that you just assume that they're joking.
And this blonde woman is still trying to very much play that camera and play that audience, and still trying to get the spotlight on her. And you're just watching it with the knowledge this woman has broken her back in 2 places. Like, yeah. Girl, there are more important things happening right now than getting eyes on yourself.
Yeah. But of course, she didn't know she'd broken her back in 2 places at the time.
I think from the reaction overall, it was clear that
something was wrong.
Person was seriously hurt. Yeah. And she was still... Yeah. Very judgy of me, but there's...
Yes. Yeah. This is the thing as well. This is the thing I want to talk about, because I don't watch too much Twitch. I've dabbled in watching people stream and things like that. And the sort of the people that were at TwitchCon, considering that Twitch is like for all ages, in terms of viewership, like anyone can view Twitch. There's no age restriction, I don't think.
Terms of service is 13 and up, I believe,
Right.
but since when has that worked?
Right, exactly. So 13 and up, but still. And the type of people that were there was like almost like softcore pornography stuff going on. It was like low cut tops and like tight clothing and
You're right, you haven't been on Twitch very often.
no.
No.
Because I know they do like the pools, you know, the hot tub streams and stuff like that, and then they had to change the service. So like if you're outside in a pool, then you can do it, but if you're inside in a pool, you can't do it because it's to do with the environment somehow makes it sexy or not sexy, or appropriate for kids or not appropriate for kids. So yeah, the whole thing is just a bit weird. It just feels like it's part of the industry that's growing too quickly without having any safeguarding in for the sort of clientele they want. They just see the money coming in and going, yeah, that'll do, and then they're just getting this seedy reputation.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not just the viewership, but it's also the streamers themselves who, a lot of the time to make it, are doing ridiculous numbers of hours. A lot of the time, it's not good for their mental health.
Yeah.
Because you've got to pretty much always be on. You can't be offline, really.
Because then
at
your
any point.
viewership drops. Yeah. Which again is unhealthy for the viewers as well. Like if you've got fans, it's healthy for them to take a break as well. You shouldn't really go down the rabbit hole of like getting invested in someone's life online. It's not the right answer, is it?
No, and Twitch has had two more scandals very recently. So you've had, obviously, this poor woman breaking her back in two places, which shouldn't have happened. Nothing but sympathy there.
Yes.
Yeah. And, make sure it doesn't happen again as well, would be the other message on that one.
Yeah.
You've had Amaranth, who is I'm told, a very popular streamer,
Amaranth,
come out
yeah.
saying that she's got an abusive husband, and a lot of the reaction to that were, I'm going to say man-children, going, oh, if I knew she was married, I wouldn't have donated so much money to her on her streams.
Yes, because she kept it a secret. Well, she's saying the husband told her to keep it a secret so that they'd get the money coming in, which is plausible.
Right, but isn't that in itself fucked up? Like, it's sort of like the idol situation in Japan. You can't tell people that you have a boyfriend or a husband or a significant other,
Otherwise,
because then these viewers who are infatuated with you
stop.
won't throw as much money at you.
Yeah, and then she streamed the whole thing when she revealed her husband was being controlling by streaming it. So again, is that the most healthy way to deal with your problems with your relationship? Like, if you've got problems with a relationship, if putting the spanner of monetary gain into the mix just muddies the water, like, morally, right? How can you be morally in the right if you're tricking your husband? Because she tricked her husband, right? Because he didn't know that she was streaming. So even though I totally believe he's been manipulative and controlling and mean and all this sort of stuff. Totally believe that. But she's not totally innocent, is she? Because she's using that situation. She's like judoing the situation and getting monetary gain from that stream where she was online revealing the controlling husband. And I think that might be why people were also saying, oh, this is fake, it's staged. Because why would you stream that if you otherwise, because it's like sensationalism.
Okay, so let's agree a couple of things.
Okay.
One is abuse is abuse is abuse.
Yeah, never acceptable.
There is never an excuse for abuse. And also, asking for help and support in those situations, A, can be extremely difficult,
yes,
and B, can come in a lot of forms.
True.
True. And sometimes actually going, you know what? Fuck it. Listen to this. You listen to this. Tell me, am I being nuts or is that over the line? I've certainly had conversations in the past where I've had to call a friend or such afterwards and be like, so this is what happened.
Yes.
And is it me or is that a bit...
But there's a difference between recording it and sharing it to key individuals, and there's a difference between recording it and sharing it to your clients.
Yeah. So
Because she was talking to her clients. She is a business, and she was working in a professional capacity, airing her dirty laundry on a stream designed for her to make money.
So as I understand it, having not seen the stream,
Okay, I've seen clips.
so second-hand reports only.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So she muted the stream when her husband called her.
Oh, okay. I didn't know this.
Right. So she's on stream. He calls, and she answers it. And she's had the stream muted for apparently about 90 minutes of what was a 2-hour call, and 90 minutes into more verbal abuse from her husband. She says, "Fuck it,
Right.
unmute
okay.
on the
Unmute.
stream.
Right. Okay.
Fuck it.
Right.
I'm not just gonna sit here and listen to this on my own." And that to me is a much more impulsive decision. That is not
She didn't think
calculated.
about
That
it,
is
and it
not
wasn't-
premeditated.
yeah, that's true.
That's yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I tend to side with her opinion on her version of things from what I've seen. Yeah, and I'm just trying to play devil's advocate in terms of what
Yeah.
But would you? I don't know. It's difficult because we're not women and we're not in that situation. And I've not. Well, I have had controlling girlfriends before, for sure. So I don't know. It's tricky. Whenever you get two white straight guys giving an opinion on anything else than like
To wrap around that's right on time. It's tricky.
it is tricky. Yeah.
Tricky,
But I wish her the
tricky,
best,
tricky.
and I hope she's okay. Did you see that someone cosplayed as her on Twitch as well?
No.
So that
No,
was
that I
pretty
did not see.
diabolical. So someone dressed up like her and did a photo shoot like her.
Okay. That's this is creepy. It sort of goes back to those commenters saying, "I wouldn't have donated to her if I knew she had a husband."
Yeah.
We have these people are on a platform and they are visible and they are e-celebrities and they do lose some degree of privacy through that, but you don't own them. They don't owe you anything. It's like the Japanese idol situation I mentioned earlier. If they've got, boyfriend or whatever, great, good for them. That's called having a life.
Yeah.
They're not.
Exactly. Not like living for your work, right?
And then cosplay, that can either be, and I don't know the context.
Yeah, it could be celebratory. It could be trying to cash in on what's doing the news articles.
Yeah, it could be like a genuine, I like this person, I want to show that appreciation for this person.
Yeah.
Or it could just be skeezy.
Could be.
Could be anywhere in between.
That's the thing with Twitch as well. Is like there's always a sleazy angle that could be true. Like whenever there's money and people and audiences, it just seems quite easy to.
We're saying this while recording a podcast for YouTube.
Oh yeah.
For an audience.
Yeah. Give us your money.
So there's a degree of hypocrisy.
That's true. Like, comment, and subscribe on your thoughts on this. Are we right? Are we wrong? Please subscribe.
Get that engagement up.
Let's get that engagement going. Come on. Hashtag Polygon Forest. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Really good point. But we're not getting paid for this, and we just do it for fun. So there's that difference.
Yeah, and that neatly brings me on to Twitch 3 out of 3. So we've had Broken Back.
Yep.
We've had Amaranth's abusive husband.
Yep.
And we've also had the row over the revenue split.
Yeah.
So it is, if I remember reading this right, it's a 50-50 split. So if you donate $5 to a streamer, Twitch gets $2.50, the streamer gets $2.50.
Yeah.
That's $2.50, not $250. That would be weird. Here's a $5. Cool. I've got $250. But
Pence.
yeah, penneth. Where was I going with that? And they were trying to argue for, I think it was a 70-30 split.
Right.
And Twitch came back saying that they could only feasibly do that for their top earners.
Right.
It's like, well, if anything, the top earners are the ones who least need it.
So after 100,000K, it'd be 70-30 split. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'd be Wait. Twitch will not offer Sony 30 split to anyone. Streamers with 70-30 split will get a 50-50 split after 100,000 K earnings.
Oh, so they've turned around and gone, you're right, it is inequality that people over 100,000 get a better revenue split than the rest of you. So to make that fair and equal for everyone, instead of pulling the rest of you up, we'll just drag them down.
Yeah.
Well done, Twitch.
Well
that
done,
was the
Twitch.
correct play, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Yeah, so that was September this year. Yeah.
Christ. Basically, Twitch is a garbage fire.
Yeah, but they got rid of gambling sites, gambling
Oh.
streams. Right, so there's that. So that's a bit of good news.
Great.
I don't know. Again, it's just too big. There needs to be a competition, like where the Xbox version. What was that called? I can't remember when that went.
Oh, Mixer?
Mixer. Yeah, that shouldn't have gone. That should have stuck it out. There should have been a competitor. Like, there's nothing. YouTube is just different. It's just too different. We need a Twitch competitor to help Twitch not be this greedy machine that should be competitive.
To be fair, YouTube ain't exactly much better. It's a bit of a cesspit on YouTube too.
Yeah.
Like, comment, subscribe.
Yeah. Thanks, YouTube, for hosting this podcast. We love you.
While we slag you off.
Yeah. Well, we don't stream, do we? We don't stream on YouTube. Well, we don't play games on YouTube. We don't do live streaming. If that's something you'd like to see, let us know. I did dabble back in the day. Yeah. When lockdown hit, I started streaming and stuff, but you get one or two people and they're lurking and then you're just playing the game. And for me, I like to play the game, but you've got to play a game that you don't care about too much, that you can engage with other people. And it's like using that part of your brain. I can sit have a nice, lovely chat with people, and I can, monitor chat rooms and stuff and get a conversation going. So maybe I'd be good at like chat streams, I guess. But who wants to do a chat stream with like a 30-something guy? I'm not the target demographic for Twitch, I don't think.
Just chatting with a 30-something British ginger.
But people listen to that in the car or on the way to the gym or something, which is what our audiences do. So they listen to us, and I think that some of them watch us as well. But yeah.
Hello, Richie. We appreciate you listening to us in your car.
Yeah, we love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
So that's
what was the other one on the docket? I think we thoroughly blasted Twitch as much as
Yeah,
we
we
can.
did. Overwatch, selling physical copies. So now we're going to blast... Well, was it retail? Are we going to be blasting retailers for selling digital copies of Overwatch? Or are we going to be blasting Overwatch for allowing it to be sold? How does that work? I guess...
Yeah, I guess first a summary. So, as I understand it, Overwatch got a physical release. Overwatch 1 was officially shut down on, I think it was the 4th of October.
Yeah.
And this is what happens with preservation on online-only games, right?
Yeah.
It's the servers are gone, it's gone. But there are still... So, we produce the discs, we sell those discs to retailers. I say we, I'm not Activision Blizzard or whoever owns it. And then the retailer is stuck with that stock, right? And what are you going to do when Overwatch shuts down? You can't just return the discs, surely? So they continue selling them for, what was it, 30, 34? I think the figure was.
It was $35 that they're selling them for.
So,
yeah.
So what happens now is you put the Overwatch 1 disc in, and apparently it downloads and installs Overwatch 2. The problem is that Overwatch 2 is a free-to-play game, so you've just spent $35 for a free-to-play, online-only multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
However, apparently the counter-argument is it's some kind of legendary edition which has exclusive skins, and those skins may or may not carry over. And apparently it is more expensive to buy the skins in the
actual
digital shop than it is to
buy the copy.
To just buy this disc.
Interesting.
So I think if you know what you're getting,
it's value for money, I guess.
But then how many... Because we're end of October, and my wife's already on to me about getting Christmas presents for our kids, right? How many confused grandmothers are going to be like, that's the Overwatches.
Yeah, that's what they've been playing. I'll buy them that. And then it'll be Overwatch 1. Yeah. I think they should just get rid of them. Get rid of the boxes. Just say recall all the boxes. Like,
But I don't think the retailer will do.
Offer refunds if people come in trying to return them.
So the problem I have with that is that's on the retailer to absorb the loss. The retailer did not decide to close the servers and kill the game.
That's a good point. Yeah.
The publisher decided to close the server and kill the game. So if anything, it should be a recall from the publisher reimbursing the retailer.
The retailer. Sure. Yeah, I agree to that. That's probably what they should do. Yeah, that sounds like the fairest thing to do. But it's weird because this is the first time that anything like this has happened, really, where a game has been successful, that they've released a second one, but it's not been a paid copy version. It's a free-to-play game. So they've changed the monetary system between the first and second game. Is that the first time that's ever happened? From a physical copy to an online-only free-to-play game?
So I think this happened already with Destiny. I'm pretty sure Destiny went from a paid model, you buy the base game and you buy the DLC and you buy the expansions, to a free-to-play model.
For Destiny 2?
For Destiny 1 still. So Destiny 1 was still being sold as a physical disc. After the game had gone...
Changed.
I don't think it's officially free-to-play. I think they called it free-to-start, which is just as insidious.
Yeah, yeah. Destiny was... People loved that game, man, but I hated it. It was the first time, I think, that a AAA game felt like it sold me up the river with like all the marketing and the things that they said they were going to have in it, and it just turned into something else that wasn't advertised at all.
So, yeah, I remember buying it near launch as a Halo fan. And then it just didn't stick.
Because the intro is nothing like the rest of the game.
No.
And so that was like, okay, it said, oh, this is what the game's going to be, and then it changed into something else.
So I just double-checked. One of two things have happened. Either I'm thinking of Destiny 2, or they did it again.
With Destiny 2.
So apparently, Destiny 2 was $60 in 2017. And then went free-to-play in September 2019.
Right. So it's only 2 years out until it went free-to-play. That's kind of also, the people that spent that money, they must be feeling a bit raw about that as well. I'd hate that.
What concerns me about this whole situation, whether it's Overwatch, whether it's Destiny, whether it's whatever,
manufacturers.
I mean, even Fortnite is online only. They ended the season, they like nuked the map. It's a new map. As far as I understand, you can't play the old map anymore, right? And one of my favorite things about games, especially as a parent, is being able to whack a cartridge of Sonic 2 in that Mega Drive and going, this is what games were like when your dad was your age. Or hell, even if I'm just feeling, rose-tinted, right?
Yeah.
How are we going to do that for... I know things like Phantasy Star Online on the Dreamcast still have fan servers up, and you just change your DNS settings and you connect to the fan server instead.
Yeah.
But...
we don't have that with Overwatch. We don't have that with Overwatch. We don't have that with Destiny. Once the Destiny goes,
we know
anyway.
of.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, from a preservation point of view, when we do get nostalgic for these experiences, even 10 years from now, how do we actually get to return to them and well, one more round for old time's sake? It won't exist.
Yeah. Yeah. Or unless they're adding in, like, saving it somewhere, saving, like, the map somewhere so that they can bring it out, like, 10 years later and be like, hey, remember this old map? You can all play this 10 years' time. Sort of thing. Look how crap it is.
Vault it.
Yeah, Disney vault it and then bring it out. Yeah, charge a premium for it. That's probably what I'd do.
Nintendo are already doing the Disney Vault. They had that whole timed exclusive on Super Mario 3D All-Stars, and they didn't just time the physical as exclusive. It was a timed exclusive digitally. They removed it from their eShop.
That's so dirty, isn't it?
Right?
Yeah.
It's just to make people froth at the mouth. You buy a Switch now, thankfully there was a physical release of the game, so you can go buy a cartridge used, but otherwise it would be tough shit.
Not ideal at all. So yeah, sort it out, game devs. This has been quite a moany episode, right? This has been quite moany. Although the only people we care, we're siding with the Gotham Knights people by saying, "Hey, it's hard." Although or did we? We said no, you can do 60 FPS. You just need to pay a bit more money and spend a bit more time on it.
Yeah, I think I'm split on this. I think there's consumer entitlement.
Yes.
And a lot of armchair developers on Twitter who have never made a game, have no idea what's involved.
Yeah.
But then the Gotham Knight developers, given what I'm seeing from the game, given Digital Foundry's coverage, given what Arkham Knight was able to do 7 years ago, and the fact that they cancelled the previous gen versions, I don't think this is it has to be 30. I think this is something has gone horribly wrong behind the scenes, and as a result, it's 30.
Right. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. And then we'll see. And because they were probably getting previews that were like 7, 8 out of 10s rather than 10 out of 10s in development as well. And they probably thought, it's just not worth the effort to make it 60 FPS. That sounds like what's happened. It's like a medium okay game, so they're just cutting their losses.
It sounds horribly mismanaged, and the end result is what is probably a poorly optimized game, which, by all accounts, is a fine time waster and nothing more. People are just saying it's a soulless licensed game, which... Yeah, okay. Back to 2004 on the PS2.
Yeah, it's really odd because like the Council of Owls and stuff, that's really cool storyline. That's so juicy and meaty and really cool place to go, and like moody and yes, the Court of Owls quickly became a fan favorite after Scott Snyder introduced them. Don't worry in the comments, I've got your back. I'll correct him now. So you can delete that comment now. Actually, don't delete the comment. No, it's good for engagement. It's good for me. Yeah, keep the comment going. Yes, the Classroom of Owls.
Classroom.
I've been such a dad, haven't I? I've been such a dad on this episode, mislabeling things, not remembering storylines.
We're the same age, dude.
I know. I don't know. I'm just feeling my age. It's because I'm just super busy and my brain's like mush recently, working like 2 jobs and doing a podcast on the side as well. But hey, that's fun. So that's why we do it. Yeah. Sorry to all those game developers that we've hated on, except Twitch. You deserve all the hate you get. So what have you been playing, Sam? Have you been playing any Batman?
No. So it's a good question. I did have to think about it. I've been playing more of indie 3D platformer Froggen, which is a very good time, from Malgato Games. And that's a weird one. Like a couple of years ago, they put just a low poly 3D model on their Twitter and was like, a bit of fun I think it was over Christmas. I'm bored, let's make a low poly model. And they're like, let's chuck this in the game engine. And I sort of just followed the development journey until eventually a game came out. From
is that the one we got to jump on the shadows?
No, so Froggen is you're in like Peruvian temples. And it's like a top-down orthographic view. There's 3D platformer style collectibles through the levels. And in addition to your addition to your jump, you also have a frog gun, hence the title, where the tongue sticks to walls and propels you to the wall.
Oh, wow.
So there are gaps where you've got to, like, jump, fire the gun, and then that, like, grapple hooks you over.
Wow, that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, check that out.
Yeah. And then the other one has been, I'm not sure if it's pronounced Kaze or Kaze, because there doesn't seem to be voice acting in the game. I'm going to go with Kaze, but Kaze in the Wild Masks, which is a 2D side-scrolling platformer available on pretty much everything, that feels a lot like Donkey Kong Country.
Right. Yeah. That's cool. There's some pretty cool games there. Yeah. The Froggen one looks pretty interesting. Is that like a...
I mean, for a tenner, I absolutely recommend it.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Oh. I've been playing... because I got Game Pass, I've been playing... Plague's Tale Requiem, the second Plague's Tale game, and that has been really good. So the only criticism I had with the first Plague's Tale was that it started a bit clunky. They didn't address some game design issues that have been sort of dealt with already in other games.
Okay.
And so some of it just seemed a bit unrealistic in terms of gameplay and how the characters reacted, yada yada yada. But in Plague Tale Requiem, they clean that up, and it's just so good. Like the onboarding, it's just been great. I've only played like an hour or two, but the way they introduce the mechanics and the way it fits in with the story, and the look of it is just a step up 100%. And like all the character interactions and all the models, I'm just like in awe with how everything's running really smoothly. And the game's design has been such a way so that you walk around slowly so that the frame rate doesn't dip, and all this sort of cool little cheap tactics for making a smooth game totally fits within the world. And yeah, really nailing it. Really, I've really impressed me. I've just been playing it, been impressed so far. So they're ticking all the boxes for what you want from a sequel from a game that was well received.
It's one of those proper sequels that sort of looks at all the shortcomings of the original and goes, yeah, we can.
And we can address those. Yeah, and then they totally do. Yeah.
So is the first Plague Tale also on Game Pass?
Well, I think it definitely was a few weeks ago, but every time I try to open it, I keep getting an error message. I don't know whether or not there's something wrong with my one specifically, or if they're taking it off. I haven't Googled it, but I know that
that's all right. I can do that.
You can just do a quick Google. But yeah, I played like 3/4 of the first game and really enjoyed it. And then the only reason why I didn't finish it is because I kept getting the error code, and then just was playing at Death's Door with the little crow instead. So yeah, go check out, if you've got Game Pass, go check out Plague Tale Requiem, because it's freaking awesome. You don't need to play the first one.
Oh, okay, so you can skip. I've just looked it up now. The first one is called A Plague Tale Innocence.
Innocence, yes, and the second one's Requiem. Yeah, no, you
and
don't.
They
need
do
to.
appear to have taken the original off Game Pass.
They've taken the original off. Ah, okay. Well, I might give them. I might buy it. I might buy it when I'm next in a game shop. I might buy it.
Just pick it up on the cheap, and
I'll give them I'll hopefully buy it full price if I can afford it, because I think they need the money. I mean, I want to give them. They deserve some money. They're doing a good job, and it's a small studio. But I'm playing it on Game Pass, so are they getting money for that? Who knows?
That pivoted from pity to respect very, very quickly.
Yeah, I meant it's come off as respect. Like, you've earned my respect. I want to pay you some money, like, sort of thing. But do they get money because I played it on Game Pass, both games? Like, how does that work? Who knows? No one knows the deals, right?
Well, we kind of got to look at the deals. Not going to go too deep into it because it would add an entire extra topic.
For another episode.
The Competition Markets Authority in the UK has been looking into the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal.
Oh, yes.
Essentially, they need to make sure that it doesn't create any monopolies or unfair competition or anything like that. As part of that, we got a 70-odd page document. And in there are comparisons between how much PlayStation paid to have Ark Survival Evolved join PlayStation Plus, and how much Microsoft paid to have it on Game Pass. Yeah, we've got some numbers.
Wow.
So we do now have an idea of what gets thrown around in the background to secure these games.
Wow. Okay, well, we can pick that up next time, deep dive into that. That could be a good topic for next week. Let us know in the comments if you are looking forward to hearing about that.
Now Chris is thinking, why didn't you tell me this 2 hours ago, you sod?
Well, we did ask about what we were going to talk about at the beginning, Sam, so yeah, you had your chance. But in the meantime, where can we find your indie game stuff? Where can we find you on social media and get in contact?
I recently split my Twitter into 3 because I'm obnoxious. There's one for my YouTube videos, which is at Webster's YouTube. Pretty straightforward. My art one is at Webster's Art, and my game dev one, this will shock and surprise you. I hope you're sitting down. I can see that you are. At Webster's Game Dev. Yeah.
Shocking.
How about you?
So I'm Acrylic Pixel on most things. So on YouTube, I've got Acrylic Pixel. On Twitter, I'm Acrylic Pixel. I'm on Patreon for the game I'm making called Focus Find. You can wish this Focus Find on Steam. And I think those are the major places that I'm available. Or if you would like the services of Acrylic Pixel Limited, where I might be doing some freelance project management work for your video game, pitch work, or executive producing a small team, please let me know, because that's what I'm doing now. It's kind of cool. But yeah, until next time then, see you soon, and I hope you enjoyed watching the Polygon Forest podcast. Until next time.
Of course they did.
Bye-bye.
Bye.